Morning, everyone. It's an honor and a privilege to be joined by Leader Chuck Schumer, who's doing a tremendous job fighting on behalf of the American people. House Democrats, Senate Democrats joined together to drive down the high cost of living, to fix our broken healthcare system, and to deliver an America where working class folks, middle class folks, and everyday Americans cannot simply survive, but will be able to thrive economically. Let me congratulate Leader Steny Hoyer on his announcement. Leader Hoyer is a tremendous public servant, iconic, transformational, and legendary leader. And the House Democratic Caucus will miss him, but the House Democratic Caucus is thankful for his service, for his friendship, for his mentorship, and certainly all that Leader Hoyer has done over decades of service here in the People's House to make life better for the American people. Later on today, House Democrats, joined by some of our Republican colleagues in a bipartisan coalition, will advance legislation to extend the Affordable Care Act tax credits to prevent millions of everyday Americans from experiencing dramatically increased premiums, copays, and deductibles that would prevent them from being able to go see a doctor when they need one. The cost of living in America is far too high. And from the very beginning of this Congress, House Democrats have said that we will work with our colleagues on the other side of the aisle in order to find bipartisan common ground if our Republican colleagues are willing to focus on making life better for everyday Americans, which means addressing the affordability crisis in this country. The affordability crisis is not a hoax, it is very real. Despite what Donald Trump has had to say. Housing costs are too high, grocery costs are too high, utility bills are too high, child care costs are too high, and health care costs are out of control. House Democrats, joined by Leader Schumer and Senate Democrats, have maintained from the very beginning that we were in this affordability fight until we win this affordability fight. And today, we have an opportunity to take a meaningful step forward to lower the high cost of living for everyday Americans, particularly as it relates to health care. But it's a battle that we will continue to wage on behalf of the American people. It's now my honor to yield to the highly distinguished leader of the Senate Democrats, Chuck Schumer.
Thank you, Leader Jeffries, and thank you and House Democrats for their great work and what's happening on the floor today. I, too, want to just salute Steny Hoyer for an amazing, productive career. He will be missed. Democrats are going to make health care and other high costs, the high cost of living, the #1 issue for all of 2026. The average American family, there are millions of them discussing this right now. How are we going to pay the bills? Do I have to put aside my retirement to pay for my higher health care costs? What am I going to do with the higher bills that I'm facing? And everyday Americans are saying to their elected officials, do something about it. Unfortunately, our Republican friends have stood in the way of doing something about it, whether it's electric costs, health care costs, housing costs, tariffs, you name it. Yesterday, we Democrats in the Senate had a great forum to talk about housing costs. And then weeks ahead, we'll be talking about the cost of groceries and the cost of electricity, the cost of goods that tariffs have increased, the cost of child care. And we will be relentless on focusing on this issue. Relentless. This is what the American people are demanding of us. And here the Republicans are in their bubble. The contrast of what's going on today in the House and the Senate is glaring. In the House, led by Leader Jeffries, Democrats are trying to extend the credits for 3 years to reduce health care costs. In the Senate, we Democrats are fighting to prevent military adventurism in Venezuela and other countries and endless wars. Donald Trump said last night in his interview with the New York Times it could take years to solve the problem in Venezuela. That is not what Americans want. So Democrats in the House and Senate are focusing on lowering your costs, dealing with affordability. Republicans, led by Donald Trump, are focused on spending our treasure and, God forbid, lives in military adventurism overseas. Again, we are focused on lowering people's costs. We believe that's what the American people want us to do. And I hope today there will be more Republicans joining this leader, and if Republicans in the Senate should listen to the American people, stop this military adventurism by voting for the War Powers Act, which could stop future actions in Venezuela without congressional approval.
Thank you, Leader Schumer.
Thank you, Mr. Leader. In terms of the ACA, do you believe that a bipartisan deal is in reach in the Senate? And for the millions of people who are enrolled in the ACA, should they have confidence that these credits will actually be extended?
Well, it's important to take a step forward today, a meaningful step, which is being done in a bipartisan way. Every single House Democrat, joined by a handful of our Republican colleagues, and we're thankful for the bipartisan partnership that is underway. We have to get that done. There's still 2 additional votes today before we can get the Affordable Care Act tax credit extension legislation over the finish line. So we're focused on that right now and have every confidence that Leader Schumer and Senate Democrats are going to do all that they need to do to work to get the legislation over the finish line. The Senate Democrats have been strong on this legislation, and they've been joined by a handful of Senate Republicans. Leader Thune needs to stop playing procedural games, because we know that a majority of senators are already on record supporting a straightforward extension of the Affordable Care Act tax credits.
Yeah, let me say, in answer to your question, American people should ask Leader Thune, are you willing to put this bill that the House now is moving forward on the floor of the Senate, because it will pass, and that is the way to get this done. Right now, Leader Thune and Speaker Johnson have said they don't want to extend the ACA credits for a day, let alone a year. Most of the Republicans in the House and Senate want to put poison pill riders about abortion on it. They are standing in the way. They ought to get out of the way so we can help the American people. And that goes particularly to Leader Thune and Speaker Johnson.
Democrats are threatening to shut down the government right now. Some of your colleagues are threatening to shut down the government right now over the fatal shooting in Minneapolis. Given the fact that we saw the government shut down over these subsidies, I mean, is this a road that Democrats now want to walk down again?
The Appropriations Committee, and particularly the committees on Homeland Security, are taking up this issue, and they will have a very important and serious discussion about it. You're next. You're next.
So, given that you said that they're going to be taking up the appropriations process, if Democrats take back the House or Senate, will they do anything to slash funding for ICE or hold ICE accountable for these fatal shootings? There are multiple shootings, not just what happened to Renee Good.
Let me first say that the killing of Renee Nicole Good was an abomination, a disgrace. And blood is clearly on the hands of those individuals within the administration who've been pushing an extreme policy that has nothing to do with immigration enforcement connected to removing violent felons from this country. We support the removal of violent felons from this country who are here illegally. But that's not what this administration has been doing under the so-called leadership of Kristi Noem, who's a stone-cold liar. There's no evidence at all that this was a justified shooting. So let's deal with the tragedy right now. She hasn't even been buried. Her family is grieving. She was a single mom and an American citizen. And we all are outraged by what took place in Minneapolis, and we will respond decisively.
It is.
Sure.
Go
Let
ahead.
me go back to healthcare for just a minute here.
Go ahead.
Let me go back to healthcare.
Chad?
And I just want to, I watched the video. You felt like your stomach was being punched. Looking at the video, there seemed no justification for what these agents did. There needs to be a full investigation at the federal level, although I have little faith in the FBI at doing a fair investigation, or DHS, but at the local level as well.
Let me
Yeah,
back
go
to
ahead.
healthcare.
Yes, go ahead.
Okay,
Yeah.
and I'd like to hear from both of you on this. So obviously, both of you have supported a 3-year extension of the Obamacare tax credit. That's in the bill that's probably going to pass today. If this goes over to the Senate and they come up with something that tapers that down or is an off-ramp or something short of that, is that something that you guys can
Look,
support?
they are in a total pretzel knot. They don't support an extension a single day of the ACA tax credits, which is the #1 thing to reduce costs immediately. There's more to be done. But they don't even support that. The vast majority of them, even when Trump said he might look at some change in abortion, said no, no, no. So they've got to get their act together, and they don't have it right now.
Leader Schumer is exactly right. The Republicans need to get their act together in terms of their leadership. These are people who are supporting military adventurism, billions of dollars being spent in South America and in other parts of the world. Yet Republican leaders in the House and the Senate are not willing to spend a dime to keep health care affordable for the American people. Donald Trump promised to lower costs on day one of his presidency. Costs aren't going down, they've gone up. And so it's an all-hands-on-deck effort that Democrats are committed to make sure we lower the high cost of living. And our objective right
Let
now,
them come up with an idea and a plan. They don't have it.
our objective right now is to pass the bill in the House, and then we'll send it over to the Senate, and we'll see what Republicans are willing to do to keep their word that they promised to lower the high cost of living in America.
Okay, last
Last
question. I
question.
got to go over, and we have at 11 o'clock, we have the War Powers Act.
Speaking of that, what is your expectation regarding the vote? And if it does not get a simple majority, what is your expectation or plan for oversight of military action?
Well, first, we were 2 votes short last time, and there are Republicans. Republicans should step up to the plate. Many of them privately in their conversations know how disastrous this is, made even worse last night when Trump admitted this will take years. He doesn't even know how long. This kind of military adventurism, this kind of spending treasure and possibly lives in an endless war. American people don't want that, and Republicans should be held accountable. We hope a few of them, the bottom line is we demand that they vote with us, and the American people are watching.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.